What's up everyone, my name is YD and today I have a very special video for you because last season I pushed my spike to 1501 trophies, which is the highest amount ever inside of Brawl Stars. Let's get into the video. Okay, so in the beginning I just wanna talk about the push I did, and then later in the video I want to come in on some tips for Spike and how you can really master him. Okay, so for the push I only played in Siege, and yeah, in the beginning of the season I knew I would have vacation in the end, so I decided with Skyrix that if you wanted to push really high in trophies and we want to, you know, just get as high as we possibly could, and then in the first 3 days we managed to get to 1000 trophies for my Spike and 1000 trophies for his Leon. And yeah, it was here that matchmaking, it really started to take a long time and be a problem. And yeah, I think it was around like 10 minutes at 1000 trophies. So when we played Siege we could gain +4 trophies, but if we played all the other game modes it would only be +2. Also in Showdown and Duo Showdown. So it was like not worth it at all. Like Siege just made all the other game modes completely irrelevant, and yeah, like that's one of the reasons we picked Leon and Spike, because they are good on most of the Siege map and like decent on all of them. So obviously since we pushed so high in trophies, some of the other top players, they tried to snipe us and, you know, play with counter comps that could beat us very easily. But as we got high in trophies it got like much harder to snipe us because matchmaking took so long. So if they tried to snipe us they would have to be like in matchmaking for a really long time. So yeah, like since matchmaking it took so long, there was not a lot of people that like wanted to play with us, so sometimes we have to wait a long time to find someone. But of course it was very fortunate for me that I could push with Skyrix, so all the time I pushed with Skyrix, and yeah, we just spent our time like on YouTube and voice chatting when we were in matchmaking. And yeah, later when we got high in trophies in the end of the season, matchmaking started taking over 20 minutes, which is completely insane. And yeah, like you could almost watch one episode of something on Netflix, and like it was so ridiculous. And when we played against other top players, then like most of them have 700 trophies, but some guys of course try to push to 1k brawls as well, and then matchmaking still took around like 10 minutes. So that's just shows how much we beat the record with, and that's just completely like ridiculous that matchmaking started taking so long. And yeah, the former world record I think was around 1200 trophies, but that was before Siege. So with Siege we are able to push much higher, and personally I think it would be possible to beat the record again, but we spent like so much time when Siege was out. Like I think we played up to 10 hours a day when Siege was out, so that's like so much time to spend. And when Siege now wasn't out, then we actually just like took a day off because it wasn't worth it to stay in matchmaking for 20+ minutes just to get +2 trophies. Like we didn't want to do that. So like if we decided to also do it, we would have been able to get a little bit higher, I think. So if we, like I already said, if we won a game it was +4 trophies, but if we lost a game in Siege we would get -14 trophies, which is actually minus 2 hours, around 2 hours. So when we lost, like it was so annoying. And actually one day in the end of the like season we stayed up pretty late and Skyrix actually fell asleep in the middle of matchmaking, which actually cost us the game. So that was a really annoying way to end the day off, but that's pretty funny. Okay, for some spike tips. So with spike, you wanna make sure to take advantage of his long range, because spike is actually got one of the longest ranges in the game. If you count in the small spikes that come out after his main attack explodes, and yeah, you just wanna chip. And one mechanic that is really important with spike is peek shooting, which is basically standing behind a wall and then just moving out a little bit and shooting, and then quickly coming back and get cover. And also another important thing is not just spending all your shots instantly when you get them, because if someone they jump in your head, you wanna make sure that you have some shots to fire, because spikes, if he is able to hit a shot, he has a really high burst. So for his super, you can use it to zone people, so you make sure that they don't come the direction that like you can make them go any directions you want them to, and make them go out of certain areas, which can be really helpful. And another way to use it is to simply throw it on top of them if they are trying to rush you, and then if, for example, it's a Nita, then you can go inside of them and you can hit with most of your shots with your normal attack and take them out really easily. Okay, so with this normal attack, you also wanna take advantage of his ability to shoot around corners, and you really wanna learn what patterns his attack explode in, so you will be able to hit your enemies most of the times. And you really also want to keep in mind that he's not one of the brawlers with a lot of HP, and a Piper, for example, can two-shot him and almost take him out if she's in a bush. So like the brawlers that I would say that he's really having a tough time against would be Barley and Piper. So if you are playing like 3v3 or something like that, I would suggest that you rotate with one of your friends or one of your teammates, so that you can go up against another brawler than those two, because they are really strong against him. And the best way to counter Barley, that would be try not to rush him at all, and just see if you can get in some shots and just try to farm up your super. And then once you get it, you can force him out in some situations that it's not very good for him, and maybe you will be able to take him out or just push him back. So personally for me, I don't think that in the next time I will be pushing any brawler that high in trophies. Like, it was a really fun experience, but it was just very time consuming. And yeah, when we were that high up, we didn't really face better players than usual. Like we of course we played against the best players that were in matchmaking at the time, like the guys with the most trophies. But really, I think if you just spend a lot of time playing, then most people, they will be able to push high in trophies. And yeah, some general pushing tips would be always go into a game room. I would never suggest playing with randoms, because it's really important that you can form a good comp, so that you have an advantage when you go into the games. And another thing, general tip, if you want to improve with any brawler, that would be spectate top players, watch what they are doing, and try to learn from it. Also watch your own replays, see what you did wrong, and practice make perfect. So just keep on going and you will get much better. And yeah, do I personally think that I got a lot better after I pushed my spike to 1,500 trophies? Like, I don't think I got that much better, but of course it's a really nice achievement, I think, and I'm very proud of it. And yeah, of course, now people, they will see that it's the guy with a lot of trophies on spike. So yeah, that was it for today's video. And yeah, I just want to thank everyone who supported me like during the push, and also really big thanks to everyone who helped us staying in matchmaking for so long time, and yeah, especially to Skyrix and he got his own YouTube channel, so make sure to go and check his YouTube channel out. I will put a link in the description to that. Like, such an amazing achievement, and yeah, like, thanks for watching. I'll see all of you in one of my next videos.